This is the combine call. Morning! I just want everyone to know that dead batteries aren't just a farm equipment thing. But I guess it helps if the kids watch a movie in the back of the car with the car off. Dad had a bearing, had to press back in something on the corn head. But that's the plan today. We are going to run some corn. We were going to originally switch to beans today. This is Monday, but there's a pretty decent chance of rain. Like I said, I want to get that corn off before it falls. So that's the corn that we're going to harvest today. Dad was doing a little walk around on his head. Noticed he had a problem with one of his gathering chains, so he's fixing that. And then we should be able to get started here pretty soon. Like I said, it is supposed to rain, so hopefully we can at least peel off a couple fields and some stuff in the bin, get the dryer going. So while we store the majority of the corn over at the new grain facility, we do still store some corn here. And we are going to be putting corn in this grain bin first. So BJ's putting the doors back together. We'll be drying it, so it will be going overhead into the wet tank. Now for everyone who told me at the other grain bins we needed to put light indicators so we'd know when the wet bin was empty, we have them over here. Larry and I were going to get the other trucks that are still at the grain bins. Bins that were right beside the grain bins will probably only need 2 trucks, is my guess. I've actually got to grab the moisture tester this time. Can't forget it. We'll need it this time. In case we needed it last time too. Hey Squish! Getting all the mice, huh? There's our fungicide beans still hanging on to leaves. Well, I guess we'll start. Alright, some good news. Corn's running 19%. Yes! That's what we want. Bad news is, corn's running 150, which is about 50 bushel off from last year for this same ground. But we kind of expected it. We were very dry in July. We really weren't sure how bad the yield was going to be. I guess we'll take it. Don't have any choice. Now it's 10:30. We're going to be very busy here in a minute, so I'm going to run and grab us a few ham sandwiches while they're getting the first load.
Okay, we've got a dump here, so we can make about halfway around if fast. BJ's here with the cart. What kind of weight you got?
Come again?
What kind of weight do you have?
17-800-17800.
Down this valley here, this green, it's like it jumped up 25%. Right
Here you can see why we're shelling this field now. Just keeps dropping ears. There's another one, there's another one. It's definitely not going to get any better. We definitely want to get this field out of here as soon as possible.
Well, Brian brought something to eat.
This is the combine call. This is how you get them to stop. They'll be here in a second.
Yeah, what kind of moisture you on it? Average 24. Winter's down there in that bottom. Okay.
Does anybody else pick up every ear they see when they get out of the combine? I know it ain't helping much, but it's the principle of the matter. I hear the first truck on the way over. See the cart returning empty. I guess it's time to fire up this dryer. Fingers crossed everything works and we don't explode. Here we go. Just gonna run a little bit, make sure everything's going where it's supposed to. We'll be able to hear it in a second hit the bottom of that holding bin. Or go right into the dryer like it's doing. Didn't forget the moisture tester this time. So this isn't exactly any drier than what we did last week. Everybody keeps asking about George. There he is. dropping off eggs. We are well fed, or at least Larry is. Yep, you're the egg
man now. They won't feed me no more, so I had to go start chasing chickens for eggs.
Eating butt nuggets.
Never heard them called out.
We got enough corn now to load the dryer and see what happens. Now this is an old batch dryer. It's a lot different than the GSI dryer we have. Basically, this thing will load. I think it holds right at 400 bushel, so it'll load, and then this is your moisture controller. This is how long you control how long it heats. Basically, we need to take 9 points of moisture out of this. That's 6 minutes a point, so this is going to take a while. So I'm going to set my moisture controller really high and then time how long it dries. But first we got to start loading. And now it's loading. The corn is coming out from up that overhead tank. Filling the back of the dryer with an auger across the top. It loads in 2 places. Usually takes about 10 minutes to load. So we just started drying. That's how long we've got to dry this. There's the heat kicking on, so that's a good sign. I'm going to check my temperature, make sure it's still set from last year. I can't remember if we ran any beans through this. There's our temp, so yeah, we must be set for corn. Turns out we had our dryer set for beans, so we have got to make some adjustments pretty quick so that we can get that corn dry. That's better. Look at our sweat. We're dripping moonshine now.
Yeah, we ought to jar it up.
George, you like my wheelbarrow?
Yeah. I wonder who done that.
What? Those beans?
Yeah.
BJ. He ain't here. Alright, we've been drying for 4 minutes. So now we're going to turn our moisture controller down until we quit drying. This is how we're setting our moisture controller. You'll be able to hear it when it clicks. Pretty sure it just clicked. Nope. Oh, she shut down. So that's where we got our moisture controller set. Now we're starting our cooling cycle. It's going to cool for 20 minutes and then it will unload. But I have it set to hold. This is not a continuous flow dryer. It dumps into the leg and we are using the leg, so we don't want it to dump while we are dumping a truck. So that's why I have it set to hold. That way I can come out here when we're not using the leg to dump the dryer. But right now it would appear that a batch of corn is going to take roughly 1 hour and 45 minutes to dry. Alright, we are 40 acres in today and we're pretty much out of space. We're going to be able to dump about 1 more truck. Now part of the reasons we're running out of space so fast is we are just using the overhead tanks for a holding bin right now. Once we get some corn dumped into this first bin here, we will use it as a wet tank. Basically, we'll pull the centers out of it, forming a cone in the bottom, and then we will have about 15,000 bushels of wet storage here, but for now we have 3,600. All right, getting ready to dump the first batch. Got Larry going to grab a sample. We're going to dump this manually. This dryer can run on its own, flipping it to auto, but we're going to just run it on hand, which is basically manual. I can dump it and then turn it off if I need to. Here we go, Larry. Now we're going to run enough to also know that our pipes are flowing okay. And like I say, for Larry to get a moisture sample. Should be good now. We can hear the corn coming into this bin here. So this is the one that's going to be our holding bin eventually. We are making a cone in the bottom of it. Sounds like everything's flowing okay. Now let's go see what our moisture is. Now if this is too wet, we will run it right back into the holding bin and dry it again.
Good.
Yep, not bad. That'll work. This is going on the floor. It's going to get a lot of air, so it'll definitely take a half a point out.
Last field, this field here, first field done. 1 field down and several more to go. I hope it's better than this corn. I hope this is the last worst field, which I think it is, because it's really dry when it's up and down.
Landon, are you ready to build some character?
Oh yeah.
Well, you're out of luck. There's no more bins to clean out. All right, folks, we are full. This light ain't working, but that top light's out, so we're full. All right, guys, that's it for the harvesting action today. We got a range cell moving in. It's probably about an hour away. So yeah, we'll be back over here to check the dryer later this evening, but that's it for the harvesting footage, I'd say. But guys, if you like the content you're seeing with these harvest videos, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'd really like to get it to where we have 10,000 likes every video by the end of harvest. Right now we're sitting right around 8, so if we could bump that up a little bit, that'd be awesome. Also, if anyone needs any merchandise, be sure to check the link in the description, take you to farmfocus.com, where you can find your Brian's farming videos and Brown Farms attire. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Gotta get home before it rains. Don't think I will stay dry.